This is Fourth Time Around, episode 12.
There's a spy in the house of love, and he knows what I'm thinking of. He's making friends in places high above, in the house of love.
Hey everybody, it's Joe.
And Lisa.
And this is a very special edition of Fourth Time Around because
this is a throwback to the early days of our relationship. We are talking via the internet.
The internets. Well, except they actually didn't have this Skype thing going back when we were first hanging out.
We would either chat online or talk on the phone.
Right. But since IMs don't really translate nicely into
we should just
podcasts.
write our podcast and run
right.
it through a voice synthesizer.
Hey, here you go, folks. But anyway, the story tonight is, well, there are a couple of stories, but the main thing is that we're recording this via Skype. Each of us are on our little iBooks.
At our respective homes.
At our respective homes, about 1.8 miles from each other. And there's like this nasty snowstorm going on outside here.
It's not nasty, it's pretty.
Actually, it is. It really is. And my daughters are here with me. Emma is getting ready to go to bed. Rebecca is, what are you playing, Rebecca? Snood?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Snood.
Yes!
And Rebecca said the very same words that you said, Lisa, when we got out of the car. She said, it's a winter wonderland.
Wonderland.
Exactly. So anyway, we are recording this tonight in a decidedly low-tech fashion. Although actually it's I shouldn't even say that. It's actually...
No.
We're using
It's not the hi-fi equipment that we usually use.
Right. We're just using Skype and the microphones built into the Macs, and it's elegant in its simplicity. Or it's simple in its elegance, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know if it's harder or easier not being able to see you. In one sense, it's easier because I can't just, give you a look. I have to talk.
That's right. Can't give each other visual cues. Okay, so...
And we would like to clarify that our technical difficulties were indeed technical. They were not the sort of technical difficulties that results with someone sleeping on the couch.
True. No, there actually was a real technical difficulty that was highly...
Joe and I don't fight.
Why don't you, for the folks who didn't have a chance to read the blog entry, why don't you... Do you have it in front of you? Can you read what Karen wrote?
Yeah. Karen writes, that's what Ross and I usually call a fight. But if you're going with technical difficulties, I'll have to take your word for it.
There you go.
Oh, and that's what she wrote. She wrote herself a rim shot.
That's right.
I was like, pa-dum-dum. What does that mean?
Oh, it's a rim shot. And I have this really cool taco...
Karen, I don't think that's how you spell a rim shot. But okay.
But that's okay. We're very forgiving here we're very open-minded here at fourthtimearound.net.
Oh, sure.
That's right. And the rim shot was courtesy of this wacky little toy that the kids got from, was it Taco Bell, Beck?
Yeah.
Yeah, Taco Bell last year.
Hours of fun, that thing.
I know. It's what it is. It's like this it's a stupid looking little robot wrapper thing. It's like a robot with a gold chain and a peace sign on it. And there are four buttons on it, which I will walk you through. This is truly theater of the mind, folks. You have a scratch. You have a bass thump, and then you have a snare drum. And that's the cymbal, and this is the snare drum. And if you hit the buttons in the right order, so that comes in very handy.
Joe, you're an artiste.
I know, aren't I though? What other correspondence do we... Oh, we have to say hi to Crash and Betty from the Okazoo and thank them for talking about us on their podcast.
Oh, of course.
As they were walking around, as they were going on their walk through their lovely environs up there in Canada, and referring to Arlington Heights as a concept.
Yeah, we really enjoyed that Arlington Heights sounds like a made-up town,
It's like
or
it's
like
like
a
it's like Pleasantville.
an idea for a town,
It's like Pleasantville.
or perfect on the Walgreens ads.
Oh, that's
Although
right.
it's not perfect in that sense. Ooh, our new favorite thing about Arlington Heights. Have we talked about trivia?
No, and actually, we were going to. Should we talk about the fact that before we disappoint anybody, we're not going to be able to have a cheap date tonight because we're snowed in.
Oh, yeah, we should clear that up right away.
And the unfortunate part is that we're snowed in our own respective homes as opposed to being snowed in together, which would be a little bit, groovier.
Hee hee hee.
Okay, so since we're not doing a cheap date tonight, we'll just give it sort of a token little riff here. And here it comes. Okay, that's all it gets. It just got the first couple bars. But why don't you talk about our new favorite thing to do here in Arlington Heights, Lisa?
Okay, so walking distance from my sweet little apartment is Harry's, which is, I guess it's a sports bar. It's kind of an all-purpose bar. I mean, you can certainly watch sports in there, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
And
Neighborhood
you can
bar.
you can take your parents there, you can take your kids there during the day, and you can go hang out there with your friends at night. And on Thursdays they have trivia. They hand out answer sheets to everybody, and they do 4 rounds progressively harder. So we were there last week, and we were very close to winning the first round. And we decided but it was just the 2 of us. The team who won had like 7 people. So we went back the other day with, I guess it was yesterday.
Last night.
That's right, last night. With Liz and Bob.
That's the official Liz and Bob register.
That's like the TM at the end of Liz and Bob. And we teamed up and we swept. Well, we didn't sweep round 1. We ended up winning round 1, which meant we got $10 off our bar tab, which is equivalent to like 1 beer.
But it should be mentioned that we had to go into double overtime.
That's the real key. The table right next to us, we both got 20 out of 20 on the first round. The tiebreaker question was... What was it?
Oh, who was on the cover of the very first issue of TV Guide?
No, that was the one we won on. What was the first tiebreaker question?
Oh, the first tiebreaker was who was the first president to be elected
The first Republican president to be
belonged
elected.
who belonged to the Republican Party.
We both answered correctly, Abraham Lincoln. The second tiebreaker question was who was the first person, or who was on the cover of the first TV Guide, and the answer was Lucille Ball,
Right.
which Joe and Liz knew, and that was a hard-earned $10, man,
It was.
to split among 4 people.
But it was cool. Yeah, and the questions in the first round included things like, I happen to have our answer sheet in front of us. Yeah, well, the way this works is that when you walk in, they say, hey, you playing trivia? The thing is, I kind of like this. Have you ever played the NTN trivia, the electronic thing where they give you the little controller?
No, but I think that's really what we need. We need
Right.
to find a place that does that.
But there you're playing against, you get these little electronic handheld controllers that look like Nintendo controllers. Oh, they actually have little LCD displays on them. But you play at the same time against thousands of people around the country, which is pretty cool. And it's rounds. I think it might be 20 questions.
I think the round of 20 is hard because you can't like come in and out of the game. You have to really pay attention. And I mean, the 20 question round takes a good half hour.
But that's how the NTN system is, too. You have to sit for the
okay.
whole round if you're going to get scores. But anyway, what they do is you walk in, they say, you playing trivia? And you say, yeah. And they hand you a sheet with 4 columns of 20 lines on it. 2 on the front, 2 on the back.
Right.
Then what you get to do is you get to choose a team name. When Lisa and I played last week, we were the team 4th time around.
Of course.
This time around, Bob came up with a line from an old Jimmy Buffett song, or an obscure Jimmy Buffett song, and we were God's own drunks last night.
That's right. Oh, and hey, it's worth mentioning that there's a photographer there from the Daily Herald. So
Again?
Again, following us around, frickin' paparazzi. So we'll put a link up, but check out whether you're local or not. Beep.dailyherald.com That's like a blog site for our local newspaper. Joe and I both are linked from there and comment there frequently. And there should be a picture of us up in a few days.
Yeah. Ooh,
Right.
the fan just turned on my Mac.
Ooh,
It must be getting warm in here.
it must be.
Hold on. Sorry if I'm making a rattling noise here, folks. Okay. So
You
anyway,
need to get out of those hot clothes.
so hey, I'm wearing the reindeer pants right now.
Oh, yay.
Okay. So I'm already in my PJs. God, this is turning into the Flanders cast, isn't it? Well, howdy doodle doo. You're over at your place because, it just wouldn't be right for you to be over here now, would it? Howdy doodle doo.
With you and your PJs, heck
Me and
no.
my
I'll just
PJs.
have to imagine those PJs in my head.
Hey, let's have some nachos Flanders style.
That's cucumber slices with cottage cheese. Well, anyway, our trivia team is recruiting a sports guy. We
Yeah.
need a dude who knows a lot about sports.
Yeah.
That's our one big.
Achilles heel,
Oh, very good.
if I may.
You may.
Okay, good.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know, Joe. I don't know if you've earned that cliche.
do we need to talk about the interrobang, or should we just drop that?
I will. You know what? It's a good thing I can't reach through the airwaves and.
Smack me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's our quasi cheap date for the evening.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I also wanted to say hi to John G, who offered proof that people do win on fourthtimearound.net.
Of course, everybody wins on fourthtimearound.net.
That's right. Aside from, listening to this cheery banter that we have, John was the first one to respond to the Rachel Ray question, and we sent him
Only, what, 4 episodes later?
exactly. But he did it anyway. And we sent
That's
him
right.
and we sent him 3 Kinder Egg toys. We sent him a little Dr. Evil mole character, a little snail, and a Rubberman eraser, who looks suspiciously like SpongeBob, and I think they called him Rubberman because they didn't want to pay the people who make Kinder Eggs don't want to pay the royalties. But he sent us a photo of the 3 little toys sitting on top of his monitor, next to a photo of his beloved dog Sophie.
His late
his
dog.
dearly departed dog Sophie, and it was taken when he and his wife lived in Berlin back in 1990.
Excellent.
And that would have been an
Thank you.
interesting time to live in that country too, because
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about
yeah,
that.
I was in Frankfurt in '91, and Frankfurt was always West Germany, so there wasn't a whole lot. We also had the comment from Matt from the Red Boy podcast, who said that, and this was to Lisa, but she doesn't have the email in front of her, so he said, I believe that Negro Modelo also comes in a light/non-dark beer similar to Dos Equis.
Oh, that's true.
Negro's good stuff though, and I especially like it much better than Corona.
Yeah, Modelo Especial, which was my drink of choice in Mexico. It's a lager, and it's not necessarily what you would expect. It's just a nice wheat beer.
It's a good solid lager.
And it's not real heavy. You just put a squeeze of lime in it, and you have a nice. It's a little more. I think it has a little more depth than Corona.
Yeah.
But without being, heavy or overly deep.
It was a good summertime.
Good
summertime beer.
point about Modelo Especial, because for some reason everybody knows what Negro Modelo is, and not as many people are familiar with Modelo Especial,
Right.
and it's a great beer.
It's true.
And man, nothing like a Mexican grocery. If you like Mexican food at all,
Yeah, this
go get the real thing.
this particular grocery that's near us is one of their specialties is they have fajitas, which you can go, and what it is it's the food. Do we mention? I don't know if we've even mentioned this on the show before.
No, and I don't know why we haven't. Now that I think about
Right.
it, what's the name of the place? Farmer's
It's called
Pride
Farmer's Pride.
on Algonquin Road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely go there.
And they have all the Mexican grocery stuff. This is the only place. Well, I'm sure they have it in other places too, but this is where we found Mexican hot chocolate, which we sampled for the first time when we were down in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Abuelita, Nestle Abuelita, and they have their fajitas that have already been, the meat and the vegetables are already chopped and marinated, And all you do is you buy the stuff by the pound, you take it home, you throw it in a wok or a frying pan, you fry them up, you get some fresh
Throw your
tortillas.
fajitas in a wok.
Well, we're all melting pot anyway these days. Let's face it.
No, I think that's really sweet, actually.
And yeah, and it's amazing, and it's as good as you would get in any restaurant. It's that quality.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. In fact, I think
And they have great deals on limes. They're all the time selling like limes 10 for an hour.
I know. So summertime comes around, and Joe's pounding up some limes to make some caipirinhas. In fact, I talked about. Oh, you know what? I talked about this whole thing on my weblog. That's why it's all familiar. If you go to jtl.us and do a search on fajitas, you'll find the posting for the night that Lisa and I went over there. We actually rode our bikes over there. We rode our bikes to the liquor store.
That's another story.
And then we rode over to the Mexican grocery and bought the stuff, and then came home and cooked up everything. It was just, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So
That was a fun night.
any good we did our bodies from to exercise, we completely undid it.
And it wasn't even like, well, we can't drive to the liquor store, so we'll ride our bikes. We planned it that way.
Right.
It just seemed like a good idea, and it was fun.
It was great. I also want to make sure that we say hi to Daryl from the Pod Dog Show. So, hey,
Hi,
Daryl.
Daryl.
And also, do we need to say anything special? Well, and also to Aaron and Jenny from the Big Show. The thing about this is a great show, and the thing about Aaron and Jenny, in all seriousness, not to sound maudlin or anything, but Aaron is really one who's out there who is really kicking it up for the little guy podcasters like us and like Daryl
Yes.
and like the Okazu and like Karen and Ross from Z and Z. He's a real proponent of shows like this, as opposed to, some of the other people who are out there who are promoting and.
Right.
And the great thing about Aaron and Jenny is that they're big believers in podcasts like this one. So big hats off to those guys. So go listen to the Big Show. It's a cool show. And in fact, the interview with the director, the guy who directed Michael Moore Hates America, did a one-on-one interview with Aaron, and that's up on their site right now. So that was kind of an interesting interview.
Good work, Aaron.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you said something like that and that person found it?
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Stipe, I'm calling you out. I dare you to come on this show.
So anyway, did you want to say anything to Karen and Ross and about the Billy No Mates Club that's starting with you and Diane S from the UK?
And everybody's in on it now. I haven't been over to Z and Z lately. Aaron, I guess we're gonna let Aaron in if he wears a skirt and lets us do his nails and stuff. So I guess that's still pending.
And as long as Diane S from the UK is going to be joining in that little club, Paul, who posts on our weblog as well, he's a guy that I used to work with, also lives in Lancashire, so he needs to throw something in there though and offer to dress up, to cross dress or something.
Well, yeah, I think femininity femaleness or reasonable facsimile is a requirement, so I don't know. But Karen makes the rules, I suppose.
Right.
In this, it's still coming together.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe Betty of Crash and Betty is getting in on it, and
that's
who
right.
else? I don't know. I haven't been able to get online really today, except just now, so I'll have to go check it out and see what's going on. But I'll tell you what, it's gonna rock. It started out as a club for moms, except that only Karen's the only one who actually has kids, as far as I know.
That's true.
Or a kid.
It started because of Karen being kicked out of the Bitchy Moms Club
Poor Karen.
for being too bitchy.
That's impressive.
Aww. Yeah, actually, that's something that I would say is that she deserves kudos for that.
I think so, but Karen's so sweet. I can only imagine that her remarks were misunderstood.
Yeah.
Or that the accusations were false.
Believe me, as a parent, and not obviously not being a mom, but having been a parent, a lot of the stories that she told on Z and Z are absolutely true. That it happens. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, and anytime you're trying to make friends, It's funny because you end up being part of one of those groups that other people feel excluded from, but when you're not part of it, oh, they're just unbearable.
So while we're talking about this, I'm also assembling a Kinder Egg toy in honor of Karen. This
Ooh,
is
aren't you
one.
talented?
Yeah, this is one that's going to wind up in the fabulous prize pool once we come up with another trivia question or something for people to answer.
Yeah, we still need to work on that.
The problem with Kinder Eggs and Kinder Egg toys is that you have to. They're wonderful feats of modern engineering, but they're majorly a pain to assemble. What am I doing wrong here? Sorry, guys. I'm just. Oh no, I got it now. Okay, there we go.
All right, well, it's getting to be about that time. What else do we need to cover tonight?
We have. Oh, you know what? We have to play something. This is the cool part of the show.
Okay.
So have a listen to this.
I got the dear home blues all day. Yes, I got the dear home blues. I tell you, I do. But soon I'll feel okay. Oh yes, soon I'll feel okay.
There. That was a
Who-
That was a
Who
block.
is that talented child?
That was rockin' blues. I want to know who the bass player was because he was kicking my butt.
Well, he couldn't really keep up with her. But
That, ladies and gentlemen, was
I think I heard a little Dylan in that.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was my lovely significant other, the love of my life. That was Lisa. How old were you?
6. Well, 5 or 6. I mean, I was reading the lyrics out of a Berenstain Bears book. The tune, however, was original.
She was 6 years old, but she had a lot of soul.
I knew all about the blues.
Being a 6-year-old up in Michigan.
I got the down home blues.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh, you know what we could do? You could do. Remember when they did that thing when Natalie Cole did that thing with Nat King Cole, and they mixed.
I was just gonna say I should record myself and do like a duet.
You could do a duet with 6-year-old Leasers.
Oh, that sounds like fun. We'll have to work on that in GarageBand.
Oh, and speaking of prizes, we also need to say that Bob of Liz and Bob wins the worthless prize from last week for knowing that it was the index finger. What are you doing over there? What is it, Lisa?
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sort of like massaging my laptop. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
everyone's enjoying that? No, keep it up. It's wonderful in a very distracting kind of way.
What does it sound like?
It sounds like here. I'll do it on mine so you can hear it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear
Oh,
anything.
yeah, and that's come up.
I was just running my hand along the lid.
Yeah, see? Well, it's fun with Macintoshes, ladies and gentlemen. So
Good TV, man.
Yeah, so Bob won the worthless prize for knowing that it was Dave Allen's left index finger that was shorter than the others.
Right.
So we'll need to come up with something else. Oh, and I know we're jumping all over the place. We also have to say, I also want to say thank you to Betty for not being offended by the fact that I stated that every Canadian sounds like Bob and Doug McKenzie. Eh?
Yeah. In appreciation for that, we'll put up very humorfully. Wait a minute. Very cheerfully with any comments about Chicagoans.
That's right.
And of course, I've moved around enough that I can disclaim any accent or cultural embarrassment.
That's true. You can switch loyalties on a dime.
Yeah, I'm not from here.
You also yeah.
And you know what? I've been able to say that like almost all my life.
I'm not from here. Yeah, I'm not from here.
I don't know what's going on. I'm not from around here.
All right. Well, I think, darling, we need to wrap this one up. I think we're all set to go.
Alrighty. Good show. I kind of like the Skype thing.
Well, yeah, but I don't get to actually sit here and look at you while we're doing this.
I know. But you know what? We don't drift off dreaming or gazing into each other's eyes.
Aww.
Aww. You still get mushy. Oh, jeez.
And I'm still nowhere closer to getting this little race car put together from the Kinder Egg. But anyway, so this was a sort of a different phase show for us. So we hope everybody enjoyed it. And Emma just grabbed the little rap guy. So okay, thank you. As she walks out of the room, she's spinning around my living room playing with it. Okay, you can stop now. So that's going to do it for tonight. Stick around after the song we're going to play, because there are a couple of promos coming up you'll want to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And our song tonight is a song called Awakening by Ann Davis, and you can find her at anndavismusic.com. And we found her via the PodSafe Music Network at music.podshow.com. Leave us comments at our blog, which is at fourthtimearound.net. And, you know what? The wind just picked up, and now I'm seeing a whole bunch of snow coming this way again.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh, my favorite trivia question last night was, who does Mr. Goodwrench work for? And I don't know if you heard this, but I was on my way to the bathroom when the question was asked, and I yelled out, "Your mom!"
That was you?
Yep.
Oh, Joe.
I know. Can't take me anywhere. All right, enough of this jocularity. Thanks for listening. Leave us comments at fourthtimearound.net. You can also email us at fourthtime@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. Thanks to everyone who's been writing in and leaving comments. Thanks to all the new listeners. And
We love you.
in all seriousness, we do. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Good night, folks.
I naively drank the poison. I believed the lies. I was left broken-hearted. I became paralyzed. I could talk about all the sad things. I could sit around and feel real sorry for myself. I choose not to be a victim. Instead, consider me a survivor. This could be my finest hour. Somebody once told me, coming out of the dark's a bright experience. Before you know it, you're laughing more, and life makes sense. Somebody once told me, if you can ride out the storm, the sun will come again. I've been holding my breath, sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting on this welcome to awaken. I've been afraid to feel. You know it's easier to be numb. God knows I've been trying to heal, 'cause I believe in freedom. I've been embracing revival, 'cause I'm too young to feel this tired. I've been trying to reckon with my clay hands and feet. I recognize my deep need. Somebody once told me, coming out of the dark's a bright experience. Before you know it, you're laughing more, and life makes sense. Somebody once told me, if you can ride out the storm, the sun will come again. I've been holding my breath, sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting on this welcome to awakening. Maybe God's more concerned with growing us up than the pains of cutting teeth and the struggles of crawling. Somebody once told me, coming out of the want the sun to come again. I've been holding my breath, sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting on this welcome to wake again.
Is the government getting you down? Bad drivers driving you crazy? Kids getting on your last nerve? Well, instead of screaming, holy crap, you could just go and walk the dog. So when your mental health needs a tune-up, grab the leash, grab your iPod, and take a walk with Daryl and Kuma and the Pod Dog Show. You can find the Pod Dog Show at poddog.ca. We're a half-hour podcast that features stories and opinions from a man and his dog in the Great White North. You'll also find informative horoscopes, fascinating trivia, and occasionally even a little bit of comedy. So come take a walk with Daryl and Kuma. The Pod Dog Show is proudly listed at the Podcast Pickle, page 1918, and is rated PG. Warning: the Pod Dog Show is considered anti-Canadian by the Minister of Canadian Culture. Listening may result in sanctions from the Canadian Cultural Enforcement Agency.
This podcast is proudly listed at the best podcasting directory on the internet, podcastpickle.com. We now return you to your regularly scheduled download, already in progress.